So Microsoft SharePoint has this concept of metadata. So in SharePoint, you have your structure of sites, and within a site, this is a subsite, and then you have your libraries. And within a specific library, you have your document content. Now, every single file ever existed has this concept of, hang on, not there, has a concept of information where you can see, date, the date that it was last modified, the type of file it is, and the size of the file. These are properties against that particular document. So you've got a document and you have document properties. SharePoint takes that to the next level with custom properties, where you can actually add not just, when it was last modified and who by, but you have the ability to then say, well, this file is a branding document or a diagram or a screenshot. And by having this custom property with metadata, you actually have the ability to take your file experience to the next level. Now, a couple of key benefits of metadata within SharePoint is not only your searching experience, so that if we were out on our master search page here, we can actually use that metadata to filter. We can have a look at where our forms or agendas live across our whole SharePoint environment. So these agenda items might be an executive, or they might be admin agendas or marketing agendas. We can actually filter that across multiple areas and bring them up. So that's one benefit. It allows us to, use refiners within our search, no matter where they live across all of our libraries. And the next benefit is that when you're actually within that library, it allows for better search. So we can filter by. So we can say, oh, I just really care about the branding documents. And you can filter by there. Oh, sorry, I'll just zoom in a little bit, please, as well. So you can filter by with this little drop down, and I'll unfilter that. You can also then sort by and, really change your experience of sorting and accessing that data. But not only, filtering and sorting, but also grouping by your metadata. Now, this looks like folders, where you have these folders that you can open and close, or actually click into, where you've got this same breadcrumb experience clicking into and up and out of, just like you would with a folder. And you can actually drag and drop between your tags, just like folders as well. So I'm dragging it out of company logos and into Microsoft logos, so that it is actually tagged as something else. So you can drag and drop between your tags. Even though it is just a tag here, you're grouping by them and it acts like folders. Now, the beautiful thing about having your folders as grouped tags, it solves the age-old problem of which folder do I save it in, where you'd historically have to choose, let's say you go to an event and you take a bunch of photos, and they are for at an event, and there's a whole bunch of different products at that event. Do you go and you save all the photos under the event, and you go, this was the 2022 October event, and you save it under the date? Or do you split the photos up and you save them under product A, product B, product C, and they either split them all up? And or do you split them up in another way? Do you split them by client? Do you split them up by the type of photo they are? Like, what's actually in the photo? Happy people posing. Do you split them up by that sort of thing? Using metadata, you don't have to choose. You can actually, in this case, they're grouped by document type, but I can group them by something else. And now they're grouped by status, or they're grouped by a different column. They're grouped by the last person who modified them. So by actually, doing it this way, I can now jump in and out of the different folders. So you don't have to choose how you want to see it. If you upload them all at once and you tag them as October 2022 event, you tag them as product A, you tag them as people smiling with holding the product. Next time you want to say, I want to see all photos from that event, you can go into your group by events and go into all folders from that event. And then next time you say, I want to see photos just from those products, you group it by your products. And you say, I just want to see things from that particular product. So you can then go into that product folder. You don't have to choose which folder, and you now have dynamic folders by using your metadata tags. Now, the cons of metadata is that, unfortunately, every single time you upload files, you do have to tag them. I think those ones actually already exist. Yep, I'll keep both just because I'm demoing. I'll upload those files there, and now they're not tagged. Thank you. So they don't have those fields populated. You can put default values into them, but when people upload things or create things, there is that next extra step where they have to come in here and tag it and say, this one's a screenshot, and this one's an infographic, and this one is a diagram. And as you can see here, it's edited in grid view. It's not that cumbersome to do it in bulk like I just did then. You can also do it one at a time by clicking on this little info pane to change them one at a time here. And you can just change that status to that one being approved. So you can do it, one file at a time. But the other thing you can actually do in this grid view is you can actually bulk change. So you can say, oh, this one is as a screenshot, and I'm going to drag this down just by clicking on this tiny little dot here in the corner, drag it down to multiple things. So just like in Excel, you can bulk change that. And I say, I'm going to approve all of those ones. So you do have that ability to bulk edit. And again, if things were grouped, you actually have that ability to drag directly into your groups. So like I dragged between groups, you can drag into your groups. So that can then auto tag it as screenshots, and you go, oops, no, I meant that was a logo. So you can bulk tag and bulk drag into your groups, but it is another step as opposed to people just uploading. The other, I guess, downside of using metadata is that it's not available in your file explorer yet. Microsoft are working on getting the columns available here, but as of right now, they're not available. So if you then look at these files in this view, you just see a big dump of files. You can't filter them or group them when using the synced libraries. So it's most valuable when you come into the browser and view them in this view. So that's kind of the cons of metadata, but the pros greatly outweigh it with the dynamic folders and the advanced search side of things. Now, a lot of people choose to have it so that their corporate files and their consistent files that are managed in a more consistent way from the admin team, like your policies and procedures, they have metadata so that you know that they're going to be consistently managed and that they're the ones that you will have metadata, but your day-to-day operational files and the people who don't have time or can't really be bothered managing the tagging process, that you give them a free pass and you let them use folders. So that is a really common scenario where your operational day-to-day working files have folders, but your more structured corporate files have metadata, because that's also where you get the real benefit of people searching for files. Image libraries are also a really common place to have metadata because you've got these different reasons for looking for files. So I hope that's helped you understand Microsoft metadata a little bit better within SharePoint, how you can tag and view. And then the other, key thing is that don't forget to, once you have, rearranged and grouped them in a certain way, that you can save those views type so that you can always come back to them. So that next time you come to policies, it will be by default all documents, but you can quickly and easily jump to those saved views, and you don't have to redo all your filters and groupings. You've got those shortcuts saved over here in your view library. All right, so that is your quick intro to SharePoint metadata, and I hope that answered your questions. Thank you.